Hey guys, welcome to Get It Done with Gabby. We are starting a new decluttering series at my grandma's house. For the past few years, I have been helping her whenever I've been in town go through her stuff. She has lived in the same house for bajillions ago. So they've collected a lot of things over the years. And it's time to try and organize things and declutter what we can and just go through some stuff, because there's some stuff that has not been gone through in a very long time. So yeah, we've been working on this on and off for a few years now, and now that I'm close and live 10 minutes away, we can really get into things. So we are starting upstairs in what used to be worse than it currently looks like. You used to not be able to walk through this room, but you can walk through it now, all the way to the closet, so that's something. But it's a very small room, and it's kind of like the storage hidey hole for some stuff. So let's see, I think today I'm gonna work on trying to as best I can empty this room, just so we can start fresh and see what she actually wants to keep. So let me give you a little tour of the situation. Okay, so I'm standing right by the door when you walk in. So when you walk in, this is my grandma's sewing area. So this is all sewing related stuff. We have a little bookshelf going on here. And then all of this stuff. So it doesn't actually look too bad, because the past couple times we've worked on this space, we've been putting things in boxes and kind of labeling them to deal with later. So this is the later. We have this whole bookshelf we got to pull and go through, and then the drawers of doom. They're all packed to the brim with stuff, so much stuff. We have no earthly idea what's actually in these drawers. So it is time. Just, a little shaker that I made for my grandparents in 1997. Oh, goodness. When we came up here yesterday, my grandma was like, I'm not getting rid of that. It's like, you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay, so that's a little glimpse into these, but the main point I would like to get across before we start is that decluttering is really, really stressful for a lot of people. Heck, it's even stressful for me when I do my own stuff. And from the times I've done this with my grandma before, it starts out real slow, and she doesn't want to get rid of anything, and it's really hard. And then the more we keep working at it, the more she gets in the groove and wants to get rid of more stuff. But it is very, very stressful. Whenever I come and start doing this, she has a hard time sleeping at night. So I like to keep this short and sweet so as not to overdo it. Oh, I will not be decluttering anything without her express permission. This is her stuff. It's not up to me to decide. If she asks if I think she should keep it or not, I will tell her that I think she should get rid of it. It's not for me to decide. So whatever she does decide to keep, we will just figure out how to organize it. Sound good? Okay. I'm going to be taking things down in bags to her so she can go through them, because I do not want her coming up and down the stairs all day. That's too much. So let's start loading some bags. Oh my gosh, filled up an entire bag out of one drawer. Holy heck. Oh, yikes. Okay, this is a gigantic bag. Okay, be right back. my gosh, my grandma just told me, she's like, have you found any hair yet? Your uncle's hair is in there somewhere. My uncle used to have like really, really long hair, and I guess when he decided to cut it off finally, my grandma kept it. So we might find like a braided ponytail somewhere. Lovely. Okay, all the drawers are empty. Let's go organize it. All right, here are some of the bags we're working with. I got my grandma going on that first bag. And like I said, this is a very slow process. All of those drawers were just full of tiny little keepsakes, this, that, and the other thing. Just like a lot. So I decided to build a bunch of boxes. When we finished moving here, I saved all the boxes and asked my dad to take them over to my grandma's house because I knew we would eventually get to this project. So I'm using our moving boxes to help my grandma sort things. So basically I'm building all these boxes, labeling them for all the different categories of organization we have, just to make this sorting process easier because there's so many things to go through. So we have like, classic trash, sell, keep situation going on. But as far as the keep stuff, I had a ton of different boxes going for various like organizational things. So I had a box for each of her kids, so my dad, my aunt, and my uncle, so we could sort their stuff into separate boxes to try to keep those organized. And then we had a box for my grandma's personal keepsakes. And then, I don't know, there are a few other categories. Like there was a doilies category going on at one point. But just a way to help us organize along the way. And while my grandma was going through all of that stuff downstairs, I went back upstairs to start working on the bookshelf situation. Just because the going through bags stuff, there's not much that I can do to help. I sorted a couple things out, like I pulled all the papers out and pulled all the fabric out and sorted those like just into piles separately from everything else. But it's just a bunch of tiny knick-knacky stuff that she has to make decisions on. Like there's nothing I can do other than sit there and watch her, So I went back upstairs and started organizing this because one of the main things I wanted to do was move that dresser out of the doorway because it's like this big bulky thing right when you walk in the door. So I wanted to clear it out of that space so the room felt more open because it is a really tiny room. So I found this perfect spot already ready over in the corner, just waiting for me to move it over there. So I'm just vacuuming everything up because it's an old house, so the windows aren't sealed great. So a bunch of those like beetle ladybug things were all over this room, like big time all over this room. So lots of vacuuming up all these little buggy bugs. And underneath where that dresser was were like decades of fuzz and, cobweb nasty situations. So just vacuuming as I go. Then we're just on to taking absolutely everything off the bookshelves. So I'm starting with kind of sorting like all the knick-knacky things I'm taking downstairs for my grandma to go through. And then as far as the books, I'm holding off on the books till we get through all of the like random stuff she needs to go through. But I'm taking the books off the bookshelf so I can clean the bookshelves. And then after we get done with all the like drawer stuff and knick-knack stuff, I'm gonna take all of my grandma's books down to her and have her go through each of those because this lady has got a serious book collection, way more than she could ever read or ever need. She had a friend of hers that kept bringing her bags and bags and bags of books. I told my grandma to tell this lady to stop bringing books, and she didn't have the heart to do it. So there's just like a constant influx of the book situation. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna have her go through them, decide what she wants to keep and read, and then offload the rest of them. I also wanted to scoot this bookshelf over because what I want to do is take that little bookshelf and put it right next to the big bookshelf, because the little bookshelf is very low profile. It's only like, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 inches deep. So that's the perfect piece of furniture to put by the door when you walk in, because it doesn't like cut off the room like the dresser was doing. All right, I'm back downstairs to help my grandma for a bit because I ran out of things to do upstairs. I got all those books boxed up, so I just want to get through all of the like dresser drawer stuff first and kind of clear that out so we have space to work with the books, because the books take up about as much space as all of this other stuff we have going on. So as my grandma was finishing things up, I was trying to clear things out of the way and just kind of help keep things moving along. So as she was sorting, I was starting to take things back upstairs that she had already decided to keep. I think at the end of this, she had like 2 boxes of keepsake stuff and then just a few piles for my dad and aunt and uncle. So like I said, as she was finishing up, I was taking those upstairs and then kind of swapping out the space with the books so we could keep things moving. Books are so deceptively heavy. Even if it's a bunch of light books, they will make a box very, very heavy very, very quickly. So I had packed up a lot of those huge books in some pretty big boxes upstairs, and I ended up having to like offload them into tinier bags to bring them down the stairs. This was an epic workout, to say the least, carrying books and boxes up and down these stairs all day. It was fantastic. But yeah, here's a little look at just like the whole spread of books we had to go through. There were just so many. As I started bringing them down, my grandma was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel really overwhelmed, which is absolutely 100% normal. Like, if you look at all of it, it is incredibly overwhelming. Like, that's a crap load of books to have to go through. I just reminded her it's just one box at a time. Don't look at like the whole thing. Just look at the one little box you're working on and try not to let it overwhelm you, which is, you know, easier said than done. But I just sat there with her and kept moving boxes out of the way and just kept the whole situation flowing, and we got through it. And as she filled up bags with the books she did want to keep, I started ferrying those back upstairs and organizing them on the bookshelves, just so I didn't have to wait till the very end to put them all on, because that's overwhelming for me. So it was a lot easier to just take little bags up at a time and sort them onto the bookshelf. There is no like, I don't know, alphabetical sort of organization going on. I was just kind of organizing them by size at this point, like what fits where. And, you know, if we get to that finite organization later, great, we can do that. But for now, just get the books back up on the shelf. After I finished up with all the book organization stuff, I just wanted to like tidy up the space and get it looking really nice because all of those boxes and things that I moved out of this room when I was first like moving the furniture around, I needed to take out all those boxes. I just moved them out into the hallway. So those have to come back in. But I just wanted to see the room really pretty first so I could make a better decision about where I wanted them all to go. And at the end, you will see where I decided to put them. You know, it's a temporary solution. I knew I wasn't going to knock this room out in one day, even if I would have liked to have done so, but it's progress. Progress over perfection, right? Where have I heard that? I don't know. I hear somebody say that all the time, and it is so true. All right, here is a look at what this room looked like when we first started. Lots of boxes, lots of stuff. That drawer was hiding a bunch of things, but here's what it looks like now. Like you walk in the door and there's not that big dresser right there. I wish I could like portray how much of a difference it makes. It just feels so much more open and nice. And we scored an empty drawer. Isn't that awesome? So this drawer is all keepsake stuff from my grandma, like personal keepsakes, all in here. And then we did a second drawer as well. So this is all like personal keepsakes, but we knocked it down to two drawers of personal keepsakes. And then the next are organized for her kids. So like we have a section for my dad, and then a section for my uncle. And then in the bottom one, we have a section for my aunt and then a doilies section. We have a little doilies section because we weren't totally sure what to do with those. Okay guys, that is all I have in me for today. We got a lot done, but not everything. Obviously the whole like sewing machine area didn't even get touched, but we got through so much. We went through this entire dresser, which was a massive amount of stuff, and now it's like really like pretty dang organized, which makes me super stoked because this has been cram-packed full of stuff for literally as long as I can remember, since I was like a kid. So super glad we went through that. Not even open that? I don't know. I'm not dealing with it now. The books, freaking amazing. I will show you all the donation and get rid of boxes and stuff after this. But yeah, I can't believe we got all the books on the bookshelves and still have like so much space. My grandma did so awesome getting rid of stuff. So proud of her. So it looks really nice in here. But there's a big dirty secret behind these doors behind me. I pretty much shoved everything I didn't want to deal with today in there. So, we're just gonna not look at it. You know? Like, do we need to deal with it? I don't think so. This door's falling off. It's so mad. It doesn't want to show anything. So anyway, suffice to say, we still have a lot of work in this room, but massive improvements. Massive improvements. Okay. I'm going to go show you all of the decluttered stuff. Okay, so here's everything we decluttered. We had 4 huge boxes of books. We also had a donate, sell, and trash box, which I'm showing you now. But spoiler, everything that my grandma kept to sell, she actually went and donated. She had a bunch of stuff in her garage, and she just looked at it and said, no, I'm done with it. Donate it all. So it's all gone. I'm so proud of her. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching me do this mega declutter. I'm so looking forward to like actually completely finishing this room. I think it's going to be awesome. Yay! Oh, if you're new to the channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!